Shalom. Parashat VaYechi. In this week's Torah reading, we learn about Yaakov's spending of his last years of his life in Egypt. Over here, the Torah describes these years of his life as VaYechi, alive. It was full of life. It was good. It's a terminology used that we don't find in the other years of Yaakov. In all the years of when he was in Eretz Canaan and things were going good and everything else was all right, we don't find such a terminology. The question arises, Mitzrayim, Egypt, the worst place, a place full of idol worship, a place full of all the abominations in the world, full of all the uncleanliness that a person can dream of. And specifically here, the Torah describes Yaakov's last years at the end of his life as VaYechi. It was alive, it was living, it was clicking, it was going good. What does this mean? In essence, the purpose of a Jew in this world, the purpose of him having such a holy soul given to him from above, like a part of God in this earthly being, is in order for him to alleviate the embarrassment of accepting everything good that he was taking from God when he was in the land of souls, before he came to this world. Before he came down, he was enjoying, basking in the divine presence, but it was unearned. Therefore, God put him into this world in order to have a way that he would feel achieved and earned that given reward. Although ultimately it's God that's giving him the strength, the power, the understanding, the wisdom to do the good, to choose to do the good, but at least figurative, it looks like the person deserves it and has earned it, and that way he can get to his ultimate place by reaching the next world having earned his reward. Therefore, the main goal and purpose of a person being in this world is to stand up to trials and tribulations that God gives him in order to overcome and earn that reward going to be given and allotted to him in the next world. Obviously, a person is not allowed to put himself in a situation of trial and tribulation. He cannot test himself, because in order to pass a trial, as much as a person needs his input, he also needs God's divine intervention to help him. And that will not be given if a person brings upon himself the trial. Only when it's God-given for the person's good to help him grow and climb, then will a person be given the divine help when he has his input. Therefore, if the main goal of a person in this world, in this corridor, in order to get to the dining room, the beautiful place of the next world waiting for us, it's our job and our goal is to fight the evil inclination, to fight those abominations trying to attack us, to fight those forces of uncleanliness that are trying to hypnotize us and convince us that they're good. Our goal is to stand, be strong, take the challenge, rise to the challenge, and that way we will enable ourselves to get to our earned reward. Yaakov Avinu, the end of his days, in the worst of places, put to trial. Specifically here, the Torah describes those years as VaYechi. It was a life, it was alive, it was living. Because at the point where it's difficult, when a person exerts that effort, rises to the challenge, helps himself, grows and climbs, he feels that level of connection, he feels that living with his neshama, living with Hashem, living with God in the picture. He feels himself attaining and going to be able to reach that destination of goal of Olam Haba. That's when the real life is changed. We should have that strength. We should have the understanding to be able to appreciate that the outside world is just full of hypnotism. It's nothing real there. It's a world of darkness. But when a person's able to unravel, enlighten the world with the light of Torah, with the light of his neshama, with the light of spirituality, and rise to the challenges, This gives him that feeling and sense of real life, a connection to his real self, his real being, his real neshama. And that way we'll be able to enjoy our stay in this world and get an earned reward in the next world.